Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Friday night. Glad to have everyone here tonight. Hopefully, I'm coming through loud and clear, and you guys can see I am by myself tonight. Michael went to church tonight, which is a great thing, and we're going to miss him, but we are super excited to be here with you guys tonight. And hopefully, all of you have had a great and wonderful week. And I appreciate you guys so much for being here tonight. And we are always glad to come here on Friday night, talk a little bit of metal detecting talk metal detectors, and so on. And just to be part of a wonderful, wonderful group. And again, I really appreciate each and every one of you. And thanks again for joining us tonight. So, as always, like we always do, we are going to lead off with a couple of shout outs, as always. And we've got Mr. Old Pelon in the house. Glad to have Old Pelon with us. Mr. Old Timer 50 says, welcome everyone. Glad to have Old Timer 50 with us, Mr. Detect Meister, all the way from Ireland. We appreciate Detect Meister joining us. We got Mr. Brian Thomas, and he knows I love those Gamecocks. And once again, Gamecocks all the way, even though we're not doing so hot out of the gate, but Brian will take it. Glad you're here, buddy. He says he just got off the beach with 31 cents and 20 pull tabs, but he said it's been a good day. So glad to have Brian with us. Mr. Doug Atkins is here. Glad to have Doug. Appreciate Doug being here tonight. We got a special find from Doug that he shared with me, and we're going to show that shortly. Mr. Trevor Van Horn is in here. Glad to have Trevor with us tonight. Thank you, Trevor, for joining in. Mr. Workman's Adventures says, good evening, everyone. Glad to have Workman's Adventures with us. We appreciate him being here tonight with us as well. Mr. Sniff It Out is here. Glad to have Sniff It Out. Edward G is in the house. Glad to have Edward G. Appreciate him joining in. We've got DS Metal Detecting. Says, good evening, all. Glad to have DS Metal Detecting. We've got Ricky Bennett in the house, as always, with those Georgia Bulldogs. Go Dogs. And he says, good evening, everyone, and happy Friday night. Thank you for joining in, Ricky. We got Mr. Tex Kinsey. Glad to have Tex with us. Always great when he is in the house. We got Mr. Joe Dirt in here with us as well. And we appreciate Joe Dirt joining in. And we got Mr. Surfside Dan in the house. So we're missing some people tonight. So again, maybe some more people will show up as the show goes on. We got Mr. Buzzsaw's in here. He said, I made it. Glad to have Buzzsaw with us. And again, glad to have each and every one of you. And hopefully, like I said, we'll share something with you guys tonight that'll be beneficial for you, something that you didn't know, maybe something that'll help you make a decision, whatever it may be. But we're super glad to have you guys with us tonight. So again, you can see I'm flying solo tonight. And my main man, Mr. Michael Coley, NC Relic Hunter, is not here with me tonight. He is at church. He had a church function tonight. And we'll miss him, but he did leave his detecting tip of the week. So tonight's show, we're going to start off with Michael giving his detecting tip of the week. And then we're going to go right into the show, talk a little bit about some upcoming things, talk about what I've got going on, and so on. So again, here's Michael's tip of the week. He recorded it just for you guys to make sure that we had this for tonight. So again, hit that like button if you haven't already. And if you've got a tip that you would like to share, leave it in the comments. We would love to share your tips, give you recognition for those tips as well. So don't forget to do that, and that would be really, really, really good. So again, let's hear from Michael. Even though he's not here, let's hear what Michael's got to say for our detecting tip of the week.
Hi guys, I just wanted to hop on here and give my tip of the week this week. And my tip this week is, when you go to these new permissions, and me and Brian went to a new permission over the weekend. A lot of times these landowners, they're interested in the history that you can share with them, and they may know history about the land that you don't know, but if you've done research on the area and you can share some of the research on their property with them, I think a lot of them appreciate that. And they look forward to what you're going to find that ties in with that history. And it promotes good, relations with landowners. And a lot of times these landowners will share this with, other landowners in the area, and that will lead to more permissions. But just share some of the history, and I'm sure they will share the history they know with you, and that can lead to more permissions in that area. Just keep that in mind, and be friendly and cordial with the landowner, and most of the time that what pays off in the end. Thanks, guys.
So what a great tip from Michael tonight. He basically said, look, when you go and you deal with these landowners and you're trying to get permission, a lot of you always ask me, hey, how do you get such good permissions? Well, a lot of it is just dealing with the landowner, trying to find out what's their hot points, asking them questions, showing them pictures of some of the things that I've found, some of the things that I'm looking for, and talk to them about the history of the land. Get them more involved. Make them feel like they're a part of the hunt just as much as you are. And Michael brought that up very well in what he said. And that's a great and fantastic tip. And that's something that all of us can use when we go out in the field. And again, be cordial, be nice, be friendly to these landowners. And they're going to respect you a lot more. And they're more than willing to give you permission. And here's the other thing. You never know, because one permission can lead to other permissions as well. So always keep those things in mind too when you're dealing with a landowner and you're trying to get permission. That is one of the key things, because you never know what other places they might can unlock for you. And Michael mentioned that too as well, because once you deal with the landowners, you talk about the history. You can even share the history that you found in your research when you approach them, and then they really become involved. So it's a great way to get a yes, in a lot of cases. So great tip from Michael. I appreciate Michael recording that for us earlier today. And again, great tip of the week. So hopefully that's something that all of you can use as well. So we got a couple of other people joining in. We got a new person in here tonight, Mr. Treasure Maze. He says, hello, first time here. Glad to have you, Treasure Maze. Thank you so much for joining in with us. And hopefully there's something that you can take away from this tonight. And thank you, Brian, for welcoming Treasure Maze. We appreciate that. Edward G says, great tip indeed. Yeah, it's this one is actually one of my favorites that Michael has done. And I love hearing that, because he and I go through this all the time when we deal with landowners. And, once we tell them that, we're really about the history, we're really about, wanting to help them discover what was on their land, what was happening on their land, and then being able to show them and share with them. Those are things that I know that a lot of these landowners really, really, really appreciate. So if you're looking for a way to get permission, that's definitely the way to go about doing it. And it's a great tool for you to have when you go to ask permission. So again, great tip by Michael. So last week, by the way, I think we're going to do a giveaway tonight, since we've got 22 people in here right now. Hopefully we'll get more. But we are going to do a giveaway towards the end of the show. So stay tuned for that. And we are going to have a great giveaway towards the end. So definitely make sure you stick around and pay attention during the show. Might ask the question for the giveaway. You never know what we'll do here. So again, we're going to talk a lot about some of the new things that are coming out. So last week we talked a lot about the Nokta Legend 2. And I'm real curious, and if you're watching this right now, or if you're watching this on the replay, how many of you are interested in the Nokta 2? Just leave it in our comments and let us know if you are interested in the Nokta Legend 2. And if you are, why are you interested in the Nokta Legend 2? Real curious. You guys that are in the chat right now, go ahead and leave me a response. what you think about the Nokta Legend 2. And that's what our whole show is going to be about tonight. These new releases, we've gotten two major ones. And again, that was my camera, my AI camera. But again, let me know whether you are interested in these Legend 2, this Legend 2 metal detector, what you're looking forward to in it, and why you're looking at it. So real curious as to see what you guys are interested in. So Ohio Fred says, yes, I'm interested in a machine, a new machine. And Ohio Fred, what has made you attracted to the Nokta Legend 2? What is one thing that we've mentioned or you've seen that's really got your curiosity going about the Nokta Legend 2, and why maybe you think that could be the machine for you? Brian Thomas says, yes, to have a new machine to learn. I hear the tones are really good. I like the ability to update via Wi-Fi. And again, that is a great feature that the Nokta Legend 2 has, is we're going to be able to update through our phones. So that's going to be huge because you can update out in the field. If you miss the update, I think that's a great, great tool. And let's see what else some other people are saying. Papa Vane says, probably not my wallet, is it? I get it. I get it 100%. And again, you just never know. Ohio Fred says hashtag Legend 2. Okay, he said Legion 2, but I know he meant Legend 2. DS Metal Detecting says, I'm hoping it competes with the Manicore and the Deus 2. And that'll be interesting to see how this machine sort of stacks up against the Manicore and the Deus 2. I'm just not real sure. I don't have one coming to me. Nokta has not reached out to me to say, hey, we would like for you to show this machine or do anything with this machine. And that's fine. You know, my main goal for my channel and for what I do is to help the people that buy this machine. What can they expect out in the field? How is it going to perform out in the field? What are some of the settings, features, menus, so on? That's the goal of our channel, is to try to help people that are interested in this machine and to get them up to speed. And if we have to wait till the release happens, until the official ship date actually happens, that's fine too. But again, there's going to be a lot going on between now and then. And I'm real curious as to what you guys are looking for. Ohio Fred says he's looking for depth and separation, right? And for me, it's more the separation, Ohio Fred, as I believe that that separation really helps me in my area because I dig in these really, really trashy sites. So again, separation is key for me, not so much the depth. As most machines are usually going to hit in that 8 to 10 to, you know, maybe up to 12 inches. My dirt is very mild, so not as big of a deal for me, but the separation is a big deal for me on a lot of my sites. I like the new improvements. They've added the control box with buttons and such, right? I love the new improvements that Nokta has done because they got the lighted keypad. They got the bigger screen. We now have the user interface that they're saying is going to be a lot easier to use than what the original Legend was. Remember, with the original Legend, we had this, and of course, I've got the cover on mine. But we had to buy the cover with the orange painted keys on it so we could find out what we were actually touching because there were black keys under this. So I love the idea of the lighted keypad. The other thing that I really like that Nokta has done is the 9-inch coil, adding an accessory like a 9-inch coil to that arsenal. So again, some of you may be interested in this machine, some of you may not. Like I understand some people, you know, $1,000, $999, I think it's going to be the price. That's a lot of money just to shell out. But just keep in mind what you do get with this machine. You do get 2 coils. You do get a pair of wireless headphones. You do get a lighter machine at 2.6 pounds. So there are a lot of great things that Nokta has done with this machine. And I'm real curious as to see how this thing performs. I'm real curious to see how it weighs. My main concern with this machine right now is the audio. That was the one thing that I really wanted to see improve, because the Legend, although the audio wasn't bad, it just didn't have that crisp, clear sound to it. And I want to see the improvements in the audio. And I think a lot of you are in the same boat that I'm in. You want to see improvements in the audio. I think if the audio is improved along with all these other added features, then this is going to be a good machine. But that remains to be seen. You know, we don't know. We don't know much about it. That's why I wanted to get my hands on one to at least sort of start feeling it out, figuring out what it's going to do on my sites, what it could do for you guys, and so on. But we'll see what happens. Edward G says, I got used to the black keys. Well, I'm assuming you do eventually. But for some people that really don't go detecting that often, maybe they go, you know, once every couple of months or something, those black keys can be annoying. I know some people that painted it with like fingernail polish paint, like white paint, to sort of make those buttons stand out. And I know with these lighted buttons, that's going to be huge, and it's really going to stand out even more. Edward G said, did they say if the control box can adjust length? Right. So it does have an adjustable arm cuff, so you will be able to slide it up and down. So if you have longer arms or shorter arms, the Legend 2 is definitely going to be able to do that. The other thing I'm real curious into seeing, right, Edward G's right, audio definitely needs improvement. That's what I kept saying all along. I felt like that if they could improve the audio, then they could be on to something. And we'll see, because again, I have not heard anything from the audio. I know she turned it on the other day on the live stream, but you never really heard what it sounded like. So I'm hoping that the audio is going to be very much improved. And they said clear, crisp audio. They said more performance and more power. And what that means, nobody really knows at this point. But I'm hoping there's a faster processor in there to help separate targets, that the recovery speed is a lot faster. Those are the things that I'm looking for in a machine. And hopefully they've done that with this machine, but it remains to be seen because we just don't know at this point. So who knows? But again, we'll see what happens with this as it begins to be rolled out. So again, I know some of you are very interested in this machine. If you are interested in this machine, if this is something that you want to get your hands on, maybe you're one of those guys like I am, you want to be the first to try out all the new machines, try out anything new, that's great. If you are that type of person, you'll notice that, I can't do this, you'll notice that in the upper corner up there, there it is. In the upper corner up there, you'll notice I've got a QR code. That QR code will link you right to our supporter of our channel, Mr. LMS Metal Detecting, Mr. Mike Heil. Mike can get you on the pre-order list for a Legend 2 if you are interested. He doesn't charge you. He doesn't take credit card numbers. He doesn't do any of that. He puts you on that list, and as soon as they start to come in or they're going to be arriving, he will email you and let you know that that machine is on its way. And if you want it, he will have it. So again, Mike does a very, very good job of making sure that you get these machines in a timely fashion. So if you are interested in a Legend 2, check Mike out. Click on that QR code. You can use your phone, scan it. It'll take you right to his store, or you can contact him on the information below. And you see his number scrolling across the bottom. Mike will be glad to get you hooked up and put you on that pre-order list for the Legend 2. And you can go out and once it arrives, he'll let you know. You can go out and start hunting with it immediately. So get on Mike's list if you are interested in a Legend 2. No cost, No, you don't have to put down anything, no credit cards, no nothing. He will put you on that list, and he will let you know as soon as he gets one in, and where you are on that list as well. So again, check Mike out. Mike can get you hooked up. So definitely check him out if you are interested in this machine. So again, Ricky Bennett's on here. He says going to try one out on LMS pre-order list. Very good. Thank you, Ricky, for supporting Mike, as that helps support us as well. We got Mr. Prospector's Cash on here tonight. Glad to have you on here, buddy. We've been missing you, and hopefully all things are well. Speaking of Prospector's Cash, I know he dealt with some severe rains and some problems back during the summer. And unfortunately for us, I'm going to be dealing with the same thing. So you guys can see, I live in South Carolina, and you guys can see, look where these spaghetti models have this hurricane going. And right now, I don't know. It's not looking good at this point. This could turn into a Category 2 hurricane, from what I've been told. It could linger along our coast and lashes. I don't know right now, but again, we are going to be dealing with a hurricane, and I'm looking forward to the ground being wet, but I'm not looking forward to all of this rain and wind if this hurricane comes our way. So yes, so you guys can see I've got some bad storms coming my way over the next few days. So we'll see what happens, and hopefully this thing's not as bad as what some of the forecasts are projecting, and maybe we will avoid the hurricanes. But if it does, it does, and maybe that'll mean some good beach hunting, and maybe that'll mean some good relic hunting as well if it happens, because the grounds will be soaked, and we'll see what happens. Okay. So a couple of other things about the Legend 2 as we're moving through. And these were the latest. This was the latest release. We've got another one, the Minelab Vanquish. We'll talk about it in just a few minutes. But the Legend 2, again, has a 99 target ID. It's got the adjustable arm cuff. It's got a beautiful little flashlight that gives you more lighted coverage, the way they have it designed. It's got a carbon graphite shaft. I did find out off of watching the live that the carbon graphite shaft is not completely round. It's sort of flat on the bottom, from what she was saying, what Delic was saying in the video. So that remains to be seen. So we'll see what that's going to look like. But it's not a totally round shaft, which is going to make it sort of unique. It's a thinner remote head, much lighter at 2.6 pounds. I'm real curious to see how much lighter it is when you put the smaller coil on there, the 8 by 5.5, which comes with the machine if you buy it. And then also the 9-inch coil, which will be the two that I would probably lean on pretty good, because I love a 9-inch coil. So we'll see how much lighter it is once we add those coils to it, and we'll see what happens. But a lot of great improvements that they did on the Legend 2. And again, I'm real curious to see one of these, and maybe Nokta does reach out to me at some point. I did ask her the questions that were asked from last week. She clarified a couple of those. The one that she did clarify was the AccuPoint. Now the AccuPoint will pair with the Nokta Legend 2 as well. She didn't clarify anything about lighter weight headphones, which I wish they would make. If they would do a module, she didn't clarify that. She didn't clarify what the more power or more performance was in the machine. I haven't seen that. The battery life and charge times, she said longer battery life. You can buy the external battery, which I think is a really cool feature for this, to be able to hook it up if you want to hunt longer. Usually I'm done in about 6 to 8 hours worth of detecting. I'm ready to quit anyway, so I don't know that I would need the extra battery power. And she didn't really clarify all of the tone options. They did say there's going to be a 3-tone option, which they didn't have, I guess, on the other machines. So those are the things that I know at this point. And again, just waiting to see one of these things out in the wild. Maybe possibly get my hands on one, hopefully really soon, and to be able to show it to you guys, break down the menus, break down the features, show you guys how to navigate it, what those features do, and so on. So that's what I hope to do if I do get my hands on one of these machines, and maybe that will happen in the near future. Greeny Meanie, I think it is going to have full tones, a 99 all tones, I think is what they called it, but I'm not real sure on that because they never really clarified that. And I did ask her, by the way, I did send an email after we had our conversation last weekend on this live. I sent it to her and asked her, and she said all would be revealed on the live, but it wasn't all revealed. So hopefully maybe she gets back with me on some of those answers to some of those questions. And but I did get the one thing, the AcuPoint and the headphones and the machine will pair all together. So that was one thing that was asked by our audience. And but as far as the rest of the things that we talked about last week, no real answers yet. And maybe she gets back to me later on it. I don't know. But again, I did ask those things for you guys to see if she would answer. And she just said, hey, all will be revealed on this live stream. But there were still some things that weren't revealed. So I don't know. I don't know what to tell you guys at this point. So let's talk about the other machine. So, and I know some of you will be interested in this, some of you may not, which is the Vanquish. And let's pull that up on our screen real quick. Let's see if we can share that. Hang on 1 second. We'll stop that. And we will share this. And there it is on the screen. There's the Vanquish 560. Now they've got a 460 and a 360 model. The one thing I'm really curious about this machine is that I don't see any adjustable recovery speed. And to me, that's a big, big downfall. Now, I'm not saying it doesn't have that, but I don't see that on the features when I go to look at it. And I looked pretty thoroughly, and I don't see anything that indicates anything about recovery speed. So if it's got a set recovery speed, I'm not real sure about that and how that's going to work, but it could be, and I could be overlooking it. And but there it is. It's a neat looking machine. I mean, I like the black. I love the orange backlight on that machine. I think it looks really cool. So yeah, I'm just not real sure about it. Again, you get a 12x9 coil. You get a rechargeable battery. It's got pinpoint mode. Oh, and that was the other thing on the Legend 2 that I like is that they did do a target ID when you go to pinpoint. So you can sort of tell what that target's going to be while you're pinpointing it. It does come with a 3-year warranty. It's got a magnetic USB charge cable. These are some accessories that you can add to it, a skid plate, a V10 skid plate. And then they got the different models here, the 360, 460, and 560. But there are some things that I just don't know about. There's the front, there's the back. And I'm assuming that this part right here is where you plug in for the rechargeable battery. I'm not real sure. But again, you see it. It's got a headphone socket, built-in speaker, which you see, which is number 2 up here. Number 3 is the charging connector, which you see there. And you've got a red hand grip for vibration. But I didn't see anything about the recovery speed, and I don't see it on here as well. And to me, that's going to be a problem. But for somebody that's just starting or somebody that wants a multi-frequency machine, then this is probably a great option for someone, especially if you like Minelab machines. It does have an iron bias, and you have 4 levels of iron bias, which it shows here. You've got 10 sensitivity levels and 30 discrimination segments, which can help you with identifying targets as well. And you got volume and target tones. 10 volume levels for both overall volume and ferrous tone response, while 5 distinct target tones give greater control over how the signals are heard. So you can see that there as well. And again, multi-IQ technology is fully waterproof up to 16 feet. You got an intuitive interface, which is similar for you guys that have Minelab machines. Really, really good. You've got the low light conditions red LED display, which I like. And then, of course, you've got wired headphones that come with this one. But they're also offering a lightweight headphones with the, I think it's their Pro Pack version of this. And you can see the search modes, beach, park, field, and then you can select the user profile. You have 10 levels of sensitivity. It's multi-IQ. You've got wireless headphones. You got ferrous volume, which you can control up to 10 levels, 5 target tones. You've got a 3.5 millimeter jack if you want to plug in headphones. You've got 30 segments of discrimination. You've got all the way down to -19 on the iron, and you go all the way up to 99 on the non-ferrous. You have 5 levels of depth indicator and 4 levels of iron bias. It can be extended to 56 inches. It's 2.6 pounds, which, you know, is pretty light. So that's good. 16 feet waterproof, 79 centimeters or 31 inches collapse, which is pretty small. You've got the backlight, the keypad backlight as well. You have vibration. You got a 3-year warranty on it, and it comes with a 12x9 double D elliptical coil. And you can get ML60 Bluetooth LE earbuds, which is something that I really like, are those earbuds. But again, not real sure if anybody's interested in the Vanquish 560, but you know, I think it's less than $500, or it might be in the $500 range. I'm not totally sure on the price. You want to call Mike up and ask him about it. He will sure get you in touch and let you know what those things are. Brian Thomas says, hey, I will still take the Vanquish 540 out on the beach just to change things up and do very well with that machine. Again, it is a simple machine, like Brian's saying. I love the simplicity. Just power it on, set to your mode, and take off, and it works well. On the beach, I can see this being an excellent machine for someone. Yeah, Prospectors Cash brought up, yeah, they are offering bone conductor headphones now for the Legend 2. So if you're looking at the Legend 2 and you get in the water, yes, they do have bone conduction headphones that they will be offering for the Legend 2. How many of you are interested in a Vanquish, either as a backup machine or a machine for someone that is, maybe there could be a few people in here that are interested in just beginner, maybe they're beginner or they're just getting into metal detecting. How many of you really are looking at this machine, and what do you like about that machine? If you're watching on the replay, leave a comment below. If you're watching right now, leave a comment in the chat and let me know, what do you like about this 560 that I just showed you? And is this a machine that you're thinking about possibly purchasing? And again, I think the price range is going to be right around 500 or less. I think that's what the price range is going to be, but I could be wrong. Check with Mike. He can definitely let you know on price. So we know that we've got the Legend 2 and we've got the Vanquish series of metal detectors coming out. What do you guys think about, what do you think will be the next metal detector? What do you think is going to come next after these machines? and what's something that you're hoping to see, because that's what this show is about. What can we expect? What do we think of these new releases? But what are you hoping the next machine could possibly be? And if it is something that you're interested in, are you thinking about possibly buying a new machine? As I know that a lot of you already have the Deus 2, or you have the Manicore, or maybe you've got the Legend, maybe you've got an Xterra Elite, maybe you've got a Vortex, whatever machine it would be. Are you interested in maybe upgrading or moving on to another machine? That's my next question. If you're watching on the replay, leave a comment below. Let me know if you are interested in a new machine, and what are some of the things that you hope to see with a new machine. So I'm asking you guys right now, what's something that you want to see, and what kind of features, and what are some things that you hope to see on a new machine, and who do you hope will be making that new machine? So those are my next questions. Just leave your comments in the chat. If you're watching on the replay, then leave your comments in the comment section. So Greeny Meanie says, I think anything really innovative will be from Minelab. Well, the thing is with Minelab's got so many engineers. When we had Debbie on back 4 or 5 months ago, Debbie mentioned how many engineers they had, and they've got a bunch. And I think that gives them an advantage in a lot of situations. And they do tend to lead the way in a lot of innovation, just like XP. So yeah, it could be anything. Who knows? But you could be right, Greeny Meanie, definitely for sure. Surfside Dan says a machine that only hits on gold and silver for the beach. That would be nice. That would be really nice. Be nice if it wouldn't hit on the pull tabs like Brian was saying. Ohio Fred says Minelab is going to go farther with the 2D screen. I think the idea came from fish finders. Yeah, that 2D screen definitely is a big deal. Hi, Fred. I think they're going to take it one step further. I think we're going to see a 3D screen at some point in the future, maybe next year, maybe the year after. It could be on down the road. But Minelab, I definitely know, is hitting on something. And, it really aggravates me when people say, well, that screen is nothing but a gimmick. That's so not true. I've seen so many cases where that screen has really helped me pick out a target. Let me know there are multiple targets there, letting me know whether it's a dig or not dig in some cases too. So that screen is another piece of data for us to decide whether we want to dig a target or not. So I like the 2D screen. I like what they did with the Manicore, and I would like to see them make some improvements with the Manicore, and maybe come out with another machine that has even more information on the screen for all of us. And like I said, Greeny Meanie is right. Chris is doing good, Bells. He's talking to Bells. Brian Thomas says, I like the weight and the simplicity of the machine. My father-in-law is 78 years old. I have to help him with his Knot 700 every time we go out. Right. And the Vanquish machines are very easy to use. You can start hunting with them right out of the gate, like Brian said. And I think that is a very, very nice thing, because when you can turn a machine on and just take it out and start hunting with it is really, really, really good. Let's see here. Let's see what else we got. Prospector's Cache is a dedicated underwater machine that is multi-frequency, right? And we could see that, they're just, I think the problem, Prospector's Cache, and I know you love to dive. I think the problem is just there's just not a ton of people that dive. They're more land hunters, more so than getting in the water. And I think that's where, it's sort of a niche machine. But of course, they make pulse induction machines, and those are niche machines too. So who knows? They could. Buzzsaw says, I have a Deus 2 and a Manicore, upgraded to both this year to replace my single frequency Garrett machines. Right. Well, you definitely pick some of the better ones for sure. And I know that both of those machines are solid machines, as I have both as well. I love both of those machines, and they are excellent. excellent machines to have in your arsenal. Brian Thomas says the HF could for the Manicore would be fantastic. I'm real curious to see how many companies jump on going up above that 40 kilohertz range. I mean, I know our pulse induction machines will go up a little higher from Minelab. I know XP's got the HF2 coil, and that one, of course, goes over 100, which is great. In a single frequency, it goes up to 88, 89 in a multi frequency. But it'll be really interesting to see if any other companies sort of follow suit. Maybe XP has a special patent on being able to run those machines at a higher frequency. I don't know. So that'll be interesting. Let's see here. Yeah, Greeny Meanie says, I'm still not sold on those higher frequencies. Well, I'm going to say this. I've been using the HF2 coil most of the summer and into the fall. And there is something to them. I think the shape of that HF2 coil is helping me a lot, is what I believe. Is it the higher frequencies? I'm still a little bit on the fence with it, but I do know that I've found things on sites that I have pillaged over the last 2 years. One of them over the last 5 or 6 years, and I've gone in and I've found things that I missed. So, is it the higher frequency? Is it the shape of the coil? That remains to be seen. But I do like the HF2 coil in a very, very trashy scenario. And I said this all along. I believe that coil is an accessory coil. It's a coil for specific types of situations. A tight situation, a high EMI situation. If you're looking for specific things, I think that's where that coil begins to shine. Detect Meister says, yeah, 3D screen. And I think a lot of people want to see that 3D screen. So we'll have to wait and see. There's a lot of stuff, I'm sure, coming down the pipeline from some of these manufacturers. I know that, a lot of these companies are working on upgrading machines versus what they already have out. And I look forward to seeing some new equipment. Maybe the beginning of next year, maybe next year at some point, we'll start to see some more stuff as well. Prospector's Cash says XP can do HF detector because the coil is the detector and the boxes are just for display. Yes, other manufacturers, the control box is the detector, so they need a new control to do HF. True, and who knows, where this is going to go. But it will be curious to see, and I will be watching to see, are some of these other companies going to jump on the HF bandwagon going up above 40 kilohertz for some of their machines. And if anybody can do it, I feel like it would be Minelab. Nokta probably, I don't know where they are as far as what they're doing, but it wouldn't shock me if they did it. But I would say Minelab, if I had to take a guess at another company that can go with a higher frequency machine. And again, small pieces of gold, these higher frequencies are going to knock fire, and I think they're going to do really, really well. Minelab does have its gold monster machine, which I believe is coming sometime this coming week or next week, I believe, is when it is supposed to be released. So if you're looking for a pulse induction, very simple to use, but I'm not sure on the price on that. So for those of you that are gold hunters, I don't know how many people are that are gold hunters on here, then that might be a machine too that you're looking at. But that machine should be coming out sometime next week or the following week, if I remember correctly. So stay tuned for that. If you're interested in that machine, check out our buddy, Mr. Mike Kyle. Again, scan the QR code. You can go directly to Mike's site and go check out all the things he has. He's got tons of things to offer, whether it's beach hunting, relic hunting, park hunting, whatever. He's got all the major manufacturers. And again, he does a great job of service after the sale. If you're interested in a machine or any accessory to go along with your machine, he can definitely get you on get you whatever you need. If you're looking to get a Legend 2, Mike can get you on the list, and you guys can get signed up for a Legend 2. So there you go. So we've talked a lot about machines and what's going on. The one thing that I wanted to ask tonight, as I'm real curious, is about the HF2 coils. Are you guys that have pre-ordered your HF2, are you starting to receive those coils at this point? As I'm thinking about reaching back out to XP and see anything as far as shipping and anything I can relay to you guys. But are you receiving those HF2 coils if you've been on a pre-order? Let's see here. Edward G says, I do some prospecting here in my area, but it's mostly for fun since I only find some fine materials sometimes. Ohio Fred says, conspiracy theory, AI will take over all coins and items found will be rewarded. I hope not, Ohio Fred. That won't be fun at all. Brian Thomas says he's still waiting on his, and hopefully, Brian, you will have that really, really soon. I'm assuming you're on Mike's waiting list, but definitely reach back out to Mike. Mike was out of town the first part of this week, so he may have some information to share as far as that. Johnny Rum said that he got an email and said it could be mid-October now. And Johnny, you might want to check with some other dealers, but that sounds about right. But I don't know. There could be some dealers that are getting them in sooner. I don't know what Mike's agenda is right now as far as or timeline is right now. I don't know what his timeline is. So you might want to reach out to Mike and just see where he is on his list and how long it's going to be before he gets in a coil. But I do know that they're starting to show up in some places. And I have seen a few of you tell me you've already gotten yours. And Buzzsaw, there we go. Buzzsaw just says, I got my HF2 coil. So that's great. And again, like I just said, I think where you guys are going to see that coil really shine is in really trashy areas and high EMI areas and areas where you're looking for really small targets, tight spaces, like, near trees, in between rows. If you hunt out in fields, in soybeans and corn, you're really trying to get into those little nooks and crannies. I think this coil is going to shine in those types of situations. So, if you're waiting on one, it is worth the wait. I think it is, especially if you have those types of situations. Chris says that he wants a detector that will talk to you and let you know whether all of us want that, Chris, for sure. Prospector's Cash says, I have several Ford friends that received HF. I got mine many months ago. Right. So they're starting to slowly trickle in. So yours should be coming soon if you're still waiting for it. And again, keep me posted. Let me know if you receive your call. Let me know what you think of the call. If you got any questions, you can leave a comment below. As we've been using ours since May. So we've got a pretty good working knowledge of how to set that coil up, what we can expect to see, and so on. So if you are looking for help and assistance, leave a comment. And, if you're watching this on replay, if you're watching it in the chat, you can ask right now. But if you're watching it on replay, leave a comment below, and we will try to get your questions answered. Gary Hull says, heck yes. He says, okay. He said, hello, all. Just got home. All right. Glad to have you, Gary. We appreciate you being here tonight. We're running solo without Michael tonight, but we are super excited to be here. Ohio Fred says, Pastry Super Freak is the one I see the most posts with. Yeah, I hunted with it, Ohio Fred, most of the summer. So I did put up a lot of videos. I don't put up as many as Super Freak as Pastry does, but I did put up a good many relic hunting with it. I did run it out on the beach. So if you do want to go watch and see what it's doing, go check those videos out, as we do have those videos up as well. But again, if you got a question about the HF2 coil, you want to know some of the settings we use, some of the things that we try, then definitely don't hesitate to reach out, leave a comment in the chat, or leave a comment if you're watching it on replay. Yeah, hi Fred says that he's seen mine. Thank you, hi Fred. I know I put up a good many of them. Pastry, yes, he posts all the time, multiple times a day, and he does a lot of park hunting. And we will see. Gary Hull says we get your tip of the week, or you missed it, Gary. We've already shared it. We shared it at the beginning, but go back and watch the replay. Michael did share his tip of the week, and so on. Yeah, hi Fred says, are they available? They are. You might want to check around with some of your local dealers, or check with Mike and get on the waiting list if you are interested in the HF2 coil. There's 5 Mile. Glad to have 5 Mile in here. Says the evening. Glad to have you with us tonight. 5 Mile. There's Crystal Coast. There we go. Crystal Coast Ring Finder says, hello, friends. Glad to have Crystal Coast Ring Finders. That's Ferris Crump, I believe. So glad to have him in here with us tonight. Joe Dirk says, I'm still waiting for a permission. A permission button. Okay. There's Ferris Crump. He says, hello, friends. Glad to have Ferris Crump with us. Ferris Crump is a very loyal supporter to our channel. So I mentioned Doug Atkins a few minutes ago, and Doug, I wanted to share his find because I told you guys, hey, share some finds with me. I want to get back into talking a little bit more about the history and so on. So I am going to share his find, and look at this nice large cent. And I can't see the day, but I think it says 1854, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, and not Ferris Crump, but Doug Atkins shared that with me via email, and I wanted to share this. I love large cents. They're just a beautiful coin. You just don't see them anymore, and those coins are just great. And I appreciate Doug sharing this with us. And again, anytime I dig a large cent, it's a great day. I love that coin. I love the design. And I believe, like I said, I think this is 1854. If he's on here, then he can he can attest to the actual date of that large cent. And Doug, I'm real curious, what machine were you using when you dug that coin? Let's see if he responds. How many of you have dug a large cent? Real curious, because they can be hard to find in some areas. So thank you, Buzzsaw. He says, hit that like button. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Edward G. Gary Hull says, nope. Edward G says, not me. Right. And it took me a while to dig a large cent, guys, believe it or not. And I didn't dig one probably till about 5 or 6 years ago. And I've been metal detecting for a long time, and I finally got over one, and I just love that coin. They're always unique to me. But again, this was shared by Doug Atkins. I don't know if Doug's still on here, but if he is, he can share whether that date is correct. Brian Thomas says, not me. I haven't dug a large cent. And again, they're hard to find in some cases. The Trime was the one that was hard to find for me. And I dug one just last year. I'd never dug a Trime until last year. So again, you know, different people find different things. It really depends on your area, I think, in a lot of cases. Papa Vane says, maybe my HF2 coil will show up dig stock time in March. I sure hope so, Papa Vane. If it doesn't show up, reach out to our buddy Mike and see where he's at on his list. If you haven't put money down on it. But again, hopefully yours will be here soon. I got a feeling we're going to see a lot of these starting to show up in October. So again, I really hope yours shows up. It is a great coil. I love mine. I love using it. It performs really well for me. And I found some amazing things with it too. So again, it is one of my favorite coils to use. Gary Hull says, I haven't even dug a token that old. Right. Well, again, I think it has to do with the area. I'm very fortunate that I live in an area where there's plenty of history. There's a lot of colonial history. There's Civil War history. I can go beach hunting. So, I mean, I've got a little bit of it all. But I also know that there are a lot of you that don't live near the beach. You don't live in a colonial area. You don't live in a Civil War area. So you're digging in parks and those things. And that's fine. I mean, I love that kind of hunting too, as well. And again, you make the most of wherever it is that you are. And, digging a lot of those things can be just as fun as well. Prospector's Cash says, Papa Van, check with Mike and other dealers. Some dealers have them in stock right now. Right. And that's why I said, go check with some people and see what's happening. Thesaurus Profundiad, glad to have you in here tonight. He says, Legend 2 looks more like Legend 1.5. Right. I don't know. Like I said, a lot remains to be seen about that machine. And until I have one in my hands, it's sort of hard for me to say anything about it other than I like some of the things that they did to Soros. And, I love the 9-inch coil. I love the wireless update. I love the carbon graphite shaft. I loved it being lighter. I like the bigger screen, the user interface. All of those things are big improvements that they've done. But again, until I have this thing in my hands, it's sort of hard for me to really sort of comment on it. But we'll see what happens. Gary Hull says the Oregon Trail passes through our area. Well, that's definitely a good area to go hunt. Greeny Meanie says, with all the buttons you find, I'm thinking you're hunting in a laundromat. Well, here's the thing. And I get a lot of questions. You bring up a great point, Greeny Meanie. I get a lot of questions about that. And, some people, they don't understand. And so I'm going to try to explain it real quick while I'm on here. Is that most of these places that I am hunting at are places that have been, there's 300 years of history. Most of these huge plantations, of course, they had enslaved people on them. They had, soldiers passing through them. They had all sorts of activity that was going on. And all of the buttons were sewn onto their shirts. And naturally, when you're working out in a rice field, again, and I know a lot of you sort of maybe you have a hard time sort of visualizing some of these things, but when you're doing some of the hard work and some of the things that were done around some of these places, it's real easy for a button to fall off. You figure that some of these places had in excess of over 100 enslaved people working continuously for almost 200 years in some cases. So again, that's why there's so many buttons. I love digging them because every button to me tells a story. And every button is different. They are different styles of those types of buttons. Some are older than others. Some of them have different shanks. Some of them have designs. And that's why I love digging them. And then, of course, a military button is my favorite thing to dig because, again, I teach history and I love military history especially. And to dig something from the Civil War or dig something from the Revolutionary War, it's just crazy to me to think that I'm holding a piece of history from all the things that I talk about on an everyday basis, and then to hold that piece of history in my hand and know that it came off of a soldier's uniform or came off of an officer's uniform or a cavalry person's uniform and so on. It's just amazing to me. And that's, but hopefully that helps you guys understand there's going to be a lot of buttons, unfortunately. And I know some people, they don't think that's a big deal. And it's sort of, I don't know, it's sort of to me sometimes a slap in the face. But what these people don't realize is that each one of these buttons came from someone that lived 200, 300 years ago, whether they were an enslaved person, whether they were the landowner, whether they were the person in charge of the plantation, whether they were the plantation owner. All of those things really tell a story about this particular piece of property, and they span hundreds of years. And that's why I like digging buttons. So again, some people call me the button king because I can go just, it seems like I can just about go anywhere and I'm going to dig a button. But I'm so tuned in to that sound. And that just, I don't know, that just sets me off. But anyway, I love digging buttons. Papa Vane says, I'll look around. Unfortunately, I paid up front, but I can always get a refund, I guess. Right. I'm not saying go away from your dealer, Papa Vane, but if it's taking this long, then maybe you do need to look somewhere else. But that's totally up to you, buddy. Again, I know how dealers are. Beneath the Bluegrass says, good evening from the Bluegrass. Glad to have you here tonight. Beneath the Bluegrass. Glad to have you in here, Lou. I need to start hanging out with you. Oh, cool. Good, Lou. I appreciate that. Brian Thomas says, Brian, do you think they will have a discriminating pulse induction machine? I'm aware of the Fisher Impulse NQ. Well, supposedly, now I don't know because I haven't seen one of these yet. This new Gold Monster machine has some VLF characteristics to it. Don't know what that's going to be, Ferris Crump, but we'll have to wait and see. That machine should be out next week, I believe, at some time. So stay tuned. You know, maybe there is going to be something similar to what you just said. He says, is there any fellow Kentuckians in here? Glad to have Kentucky in the house. So yes, they do. Michael couldn't believe it because we went to this place and we were just randomly out in the woods last weekend, and I dug a colonial button in just the weirdest spot. And then I dug, and you guys can go check it out, but I dug a Great Seal button from World War II, which just really was just sort of odd, you know, where we were digging. And he couldn't believe that I still dug buttons, even though we went somewhere else. And it was sort of funny. And we always laugh about that. Some people just laugh when I dig a button because they go, well, all you show are buttons. But again, those buttons tell a story. I'm a history lover, and I love buttons. And those buttons came from someone that lived 200 years ago or 300 years ago. And they tell a story about those places. And that's just why I like that. I mean, naturally, I would love to dig a coin or a military button, but even the plain buttons have a lot of information that you can gather about a property or that site just by looking at them. You can tell the age, you can tell what they're made of, who might have worn them. The thinner ones tend to be for a lot of the enslaved people that lived on these plantations. The thicker ones with the more gilt on them and the quality back marks on them were probably worn by the people that actually owned the plantations in some cases. So there's a lot that you can derive just from a simple button. And I hate when people sort of just blow that off. They don't realize what all that button can tell you. And so, but again, I love digging buttons. So I'll keep digging buttons, and I'll enjoy myself digging those buttons because I love knowing the history of some of the places that I'm hunting. So really a lot of fun, and I enjoy that part of it. Some people may laugh at that, but so be it. I like to hunt that way, and I love finding them. So I'm just going to keep on going with it. I bet with HF2 coils, yes, I am Prospector's Cash. I mean, I dug a War of 1812 button the other day on a site that I've been hunting for 2 years. And I've walked over that site 100 times. And it was a War of 1812 naval button of all things. And never expected that to come out of the ground. And it did. And that just blew me away. Yes, buttons, buckles, and beeps. That's right. You know, I like buckles too. I used to go through a phase where I would dig nothing but buckles. And, it just depends on where you are. But again, some people relate to that. Some people don't. And, if you're hunting a park or something, you're not really concerned with these flat buttons. But again, I'm into the history. That's what I love, and I'll keep digging buttons for sure. Hey, Matt, glad to have you in here. Metal Detecting Texas is in the house. Glad to have him with us. So, guys, you guys have been so patient tonight, and everybody's been so wonderful. I do want to do a giveaway, and we're going to get to that in just a few minutes. So we are going to do a giveaway tonight, and I'll see what I've got in my giveaway bag, and we'll do that in just a second. But again, thanks for being here tonight. Just a couple of housekeeping duties. If you guys are interested, we do have a membership channel. If you want to sign up for that, it just gives you a little bit extra. We release, like just this past week, we released some extra videos and things for our members on the Legend 2 before we actually talked about it. So some people got that extra video. We have badges that are given out to those members, and it really helps support our channel. If you are interested, you can sign up for it. If you're not, no harm, no foul. You don't have to sign up for it, but it does support our channel, helps us bring our content to you guys, helps pay for the live stream and so on. But again, if you are interested in membership, also to check out our buddy, Mr. Mike Kyle. We have some special giveaways that come from him. And we just gave away 2 XP backpacks from LMS Metal Detecting. Mike is a super person to deal with. His information is scrolling across the bottom. So check Mike out. We've also got the new QR code up here in the corner. If you click on that QR code, it will take you directly to Mike's store. You can see what Mike has to offer. And Mike is real super to deal with. If you are interested in the Legend 2 or the Minelab Vanquish, you can definitely give Mike a call. He can get you hooked up with any of that stuff as well. And I know he would be more than happy to help you out. Mike provides service after the sale. And we appreciate Mike so much, as he is a wonderful supporter of our channel. And Mike is just super, super good to deal with. And if you ever have any problems with a machine, you want to know something about a machine, you can always call Mike up. And you can always leave a comment for me too. I'm here to help as much as I can. And so there you go. So Brian says Mike at LMS is awesome, and he is. Thank you, digging it back. There he is. We appreciate you so much. Mr. Charlie, go check out their show on Sunday mornings with Charlie and Rob. They do a wonderful job, and they are great ambassadors for the hobby, Charlie and Rob. And Charlie is digging it back. He also has a show, I believe, on Saturday nights, so you can go check him out. It's a fun-filled show. And of course, on Sunday mornings they do their duck races. So those are a lot of fun too. And it's just a good time. It's just a very laid back, have a great time type of show. And go check out Rob and Charlie, Mr. Digging It Back, who just gifted some memberships. And we appreciate him so much for being a wonderful supporter of our channel. He says, "You the man, teach, appreciate everything you do for the hobby." Wow. Again, I do exactly what you guys do. And I love what I do, just like I just got to tell these guys how much I love history. So again, we appreciate that. How much does the machine run? Which one, Lurker Troy? I'll be glad to help you out with it. I believe the new Legend 2 is going to be $9.99. As far as the Vanquish 560, I believe it's going to run around $4.99. I could be wrong. Don't hold me to that. But then they have the 560, they have the 460, and they have the 360. So those are the 460 and 360 are cheaper models, or I say cheaper, but less expensive models that you can buy as well. They just don't. Some of them don't have as many features on them. So definitely go check those out. If you're interested in any of those, check out my buddy, Mr. LMS Metal Detecting. Hi, Fred says, Minelab is the only one to give a veteran discount, which I appreciate. Right. Mike does the veteran discount for Minelab as well. And I believe Mike does it on a lot of other machines too. But you can check with Mike, and he can get you hooked up. Beneath the Bluegrass is wow, digging it back. Very cool. He's a awesome dude. Charlie is great. And we got to get Charlie and Rob back on the show. We haven't had them on since last year. So maybe I can convince them to sacrifice a Friday night and come on our show. It would have been nice to have them on tonight since I didn't have Michael. So that would have been good. And there you go, Lurker Troy. Glad we can help. So, guys, let's do a giveaway. I know some of you are on here and would love to do that. Maybe we start giving away some of the relics that we find too. Maybe, I don't know if you guys would be interested in that. Found a ton over the years and wouldn't mind sharing them with other people. So let me check into my bag of goodies. And we've got, sorry guys, we're going to give away an XP hat tonight. If some of you are interested in a nice XP hat, I like these hats because they're not high toppers and they're super comfortable. They're very lightweight and I like these a lot. So we are going to give away an XP hat tonight. For those of you that are interested, let's see what you guys said. Somebody said the relics would be cool, right? Well, I've got some things that I can definitely give away. I've got some coins. Maybe I can give away a South Carolina Civil War button. How many of you would be interested in a South Carolina Civil War button if I gave one of those away? But yeah, I love my state, but it would be nice for someone to get one of those and appreciate it as well. Beneath the Bluegrass says, how about a South Carolina football fumble tomorrow? Oh, well, that's probably going to happen, unfortunately, beneath the Bluegrass, as South Carolina is playing Kentucky tomorrow. So that's what he's referring to. Let's see here. Beneath, he said that would be a nice giveaway. Yeah, the high toppers do suck. I don't like that high topper hat as well. Let's see. Yes, South Carolina Civil War for sure. I do have one that I know I could give away. Maybe we do that in the coming weeks as I would love to do that. If someone, if you guys are interested, if you're not, let me know. I don't have to give it away. But it would be cool for it to go to somebody that really appreciates it and loves history as much as I do. Just promise me, if I do give one away, you don't sell it. It's got to stay in a collection for somebody. So again, yes, Bell says that would be very nice, right? Yeah, those buttons I've dug a lot of them over the years, and I do live in South Carolina, as many of you know. So maybe we can do that maybe in the next week or two as a thing. Edward G says I would add it to the infantry button shelf I have, right? So maybe I do some sort of, I don't know, I'll figure it out, but maybe I'll do something like, hey, tell me why you want a South Carolina button and what you're going to do with it. And the answer that I think is the best, maybe that's how I pick it. That would be good. And maybe I'll bring Michael into all of this too. Brian Thomas says, I promise I won't sell it. Right. I don't believe in selling relics. That's something that I've never done. One thing that I love to do is give the relics back to the landowner, which I've done on a bunch of occasions. I believe history should stay where it was found in some cases, especially if the landowner is very interested in it. And again, that goes back to Michael's tip from earlier in the show. Yeah, those palmetto trees are beautiful. They are beautiful. Greeny Meanie says, if anything, you can use them to test right. Yeah, you can use them to test your metal detectors. Oh, and speaking of, Casey, I didn't know you were going to be on here. But anyway, T-Date Kid, Excalibur Shovels. Casey, check Casey out. A great guy to deal with. Can hook you up with some really cool shovels if you're interested. Casey has me hooked up with the new shovel that he's got in his arsenal of shovels that he's got on his store, which is the Mordred. shovel, and it's really good for cutting through roots. So if you're interested, go check it out. Casey does a wonderful job with his design. He can get you hooked up with all sorts of color schemes, whatever you like. So check out Excalibur Shovels and the Key Date Kit. And he said that if you're interested in a veteran discount, he can get you a veteran discount. But go check out Excalibur Shovels. And we appreciate Casey being on here tonight. Ricky Bennett says, hey, love those palmetto trees. I do too, Ricky, as well. Metal Detecting takes a great idea, Brian, but as for me, if I don't find it, I don't want it, but that's just me. There are some people that are like that, and I get that. But there's some people that love history, sort of like I do. And again, maybe that's something that I can give back to the people that come on here. And that would be something really, really nice to have a piece of South Carolina history for yourself. But thank you, Ferris Grump. I appreciate you, buddy. As always, wonderful supporter of our channel. So let's do our giveaway tonight. Give me 1 second and we'll pull this up and we're going to get out of here. Thank you guys for bearing with me and me dealing without Michael tonight. And again, I appreciate each and every one of you as loyal subscribers and loyal members to our channel. And we appreciate each and every one of you as well. So yes, I like whatever G says. He says, hey, I need to pull it up. He says, I need to take a picture of the shadow box frame from a landowner put together of stuff I gave back to them. Right. And a lot of the landowners really do appreciate that. Greeny Meanie says, yeah, some of the things you find others around the world has no. Right. Exactly. And that's another reason why, I'd be interested in possibly doing that, is just so these guys that'll never have an opportunity to dig a Civil War button. Maybe you live far out west, you're never going to dig a South Carolina Confederate Civil War button. Maybe that's something as well. So again, yeah, he says, don't get me wrong. I love the idea. Thank you, Matt. I appreciate it. Thank you, Edward G. It has been a good show. And I tried to carry it without Michael. I know without Michael, it seems a little odd. And I sometimes feel odd without Michael, even though I know sometimes he really doesn't say a ton, but it's always good having him here. And Michael's just a wonderful, wonderful friend, and I appreciate him. And I'll be glad to have him back next week. So we'll see. So let's do this giveaway. Let's see here. Any ideas for the hashtag? I'm going to let you guys come up with the hashtag tonight. What's the hashtag for the hat? We're going to give away this XP hat tonight. And we will get this out to one of our lucky winners tonight. Any guys? Hashtag. All right, there we go. Yeah, we talk history. So why don't we make it hashtag? We'll shorten it a little bit. Yeah, since Michael's not here. That's even better. I love it. I love it, guys. Thank y'all. Low top. I love it. Let's see what else you guys come up with. I'll pick out one of them. You guys are doing great. Thank y'all so much. This is why I love this. This is, I've been cooped up in a classroom full of teenagers all this week. So it's always fun to come in here. You guys make my night on a Friday night. Hashtag. Oh Lord, that one will be a good one too. Beneath the bluegrass, he says South Carolina fumble. How about South Carolina interception beneath the bluegrass? Yeah, it has been about history. We'll make it easy. So let's do hashtag history. That's what we love, and we're going to share that. Let's see if I can get this up on the. Let's go back. Y'all give me 1 second here, and we will share our screen. We can get this up, and Here we go. So we're going to do hashtag history. We're going to start collecting comments. Put me in here too. We're going to start collecting comments now. Let's see if this works. Hashtag history. It's not. Come on. We didn't do it the right way. Sometimes if you don't do it at the beginning, it will mess with you. Y'all keep typing. We'll get it. Hashtag history. And it'll make me back. Y'all keep typing, and we will do our drawing. Hashtag history. There we go. All right. Thank you, Edward G. I appreciate it, buddy. Thank you so much. Thank you, Key Date Kid, for joining in with us tonight. We appreciate you, buddy. Check out Key Date Kid at Excalibur Shovels. Check out that new Mordred shovel. That thing is awesome. So go check him out if you get a chance. And don't forget to check out our buddy, Mr. Mike Kyle, at LMS Metal Detecting. And we appreciate you guys. Share the channel. Get some more people on here. We would love to have that. Check out our content. We got tons of content coming. If you got any comments, anything that you would like to leave, ask us any questions about metal detectors, anything about metal detecting. If you're interested, leave a comment below or leave a comment in the chat, and we will be glad to get back with you. And we appreciate everyone that joined in on our show tonight. We've got 24 people that have signed up. And again, we're giving away an XP hat tonight. And I really like these hats. We got a couple of T-shirts and some other things too that we're going to be giving away over the next few weeks. And we're going to be doing our members only live stream. So you guys that are members, definitely be out on the lookout for that. We'll put that up on a post and get that out to you guys too. So that should be coming up really, really soon. And we've got a lot to going up. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, go back and listen to the first part of the show. We got Michael's tip on there. So if you came in here late and you missed Michael's tip of the week, you can go check that out. We talked a lot about the Legend 2 tonight. We talked about the Vanquish series, the 60 series. We talked about things that we would like to see for some of the new metal detectors and so on. So just a real simple, enjoyable chat. Thank you to Charlie tonight for donating the memberships. We appreciate that, Charlie, from Digging It Back. Go check out Charlie and Rob's show on Sunday mornings. Just a great time. And also, too, we appreciate Casey being on here tonight. And go check out Casey's store, Excalibur Shovels. Go check him out. Go check out our main man, Mr. LMS Metal Detecting, as he is the great supporter of our channel. Thank you, Brian. Yes, please, before you leave, hit that like button tonight, as that helps support our channel, gets this algorithm going. And hopefully there was something that we shared tonight that you guys can take with you and make your adventure a success when you go out into the field. We got a lot of other stuff planned over the next month or so. We got some great guests lined up too. And we will be announcing some of that stuff really, really soon. Gary, I appreciate that, Gary. He says, your channel almost give me information overload. Well, and we try to keep it simple. Sometimes I know we get a little bit, a little bit out there, but we do try to keep it simple. Try not to overload anybody and give you chunks of information, I guess, Gary, is what I'm trying to say. He says, hey there, John, we need to get together. There you go, beneath it. Yes, Belle, thank you so much for being here tonight. And we're just trying to, have a good time, Bells. That's what it's really ultimately about for us, is having a good time, enjoying talking with you guys. And like I said, it's sort of my mental release after my work week. So I enjoy being with you guys for that reason as well. Thank you, Ohio Fred. He says, great chat. Thank you too, Ohio Fred. And hopefully, like I said, hopefully you guys got something out of it. All right, we're going to be doing this drawing. Is there anybody else that wants to get in? We got in 25. If you win, just as a reminder, if you win, you need to email me at sransc@gmail.com. Let me know your address, your full name, address, zip code, all the necessary information so I can mail this out to you and get your hat to you as soon as possible. And we will do that. So, again, thank you so much for being here. 26. We'll go one more minute and then we will do our drawing. Again, if you got a question about anything that we talked about tonight, leave it in the comments, leave it in the chat. We would appreciate that. If you're watching this on replay, share the live stream. We would appreciate that too as well. So Buzzsaw says, later you can give me some pointers on how to set up. Yes, we can do that. We'll be glad to do that, Buzzsaw. So I appreciate you, buddy, and thank you for being here tonight, as always, and I appreciate you. All right, so we got 26. We are going to do this drawing. Thank you again. I hope everyone has a wonderful and fantastic weekend. Pray that I don't get washed away by the hurricane, which is coming, or a tropical storm, whatever it may be. Maybe it'll move, and maybe I won't get just destroyed with wind and rain, but we'll wait and see what happens there. But again, thank you guys. I appreciate y'all. Let's do this drawing, and here we go. Let's see who's going to be our lucky winner tonight. And it is Mr. John W. John W. John W., you have to be here in order to win. So we're waiting to see, is John W. in the house? John W., let me know you are here. I don't think well, I know John W. hasn't won anything here before, but I need to know he's here. Otherwise, we're going to have to do this all over again. John W., where are you? He's here. Okay, very good. So John W., I need you to email me at sransc@gmail.com. Send me your address, zip code, city, all that good stuff, and let me know all of that so I can get this mail back to you. So again, I appreciate you, John. Thank you so much. And thank you, each and every one of you, for being here tonight. And thanks for being a part of our show and being here on every Friday night and joining in on all the fun. So again, thank you to all those that were Ferris Grump for his kind donation tonight. Charlie from Digging It Back for the memberships. And, thank you, Mike, for being a great supporter of our channel. And thank you to Excalibur Shuttles and Casey for being a wonderful supporter of our channel as well. Thank you guys so much. I hope y'all have a wonderful weekend. Stay safe out there, and we will catch you guys soon on our next adventure. Take care, guys. We'll see you soon.